Hey y'all, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP family. Appreciate you guys as always, but without further ado, let's analyze, take a look at what's happening with XRP and what we could be expecting going into Sunday morning. So looking across the board, I mentioned this in my HBAR and CASPA update if you did end up watching it. If not, we're obviously going to talk about XRP and of course, a lot of other factors as well. But, over the weekend, so far, pretty much since Friday, as we did see the market, returning back into this green momentum, so far that green momentum is still carrying on as we are even going into Sunday morning. Of course, over the weekends, we do tend to see more manipulation than usual due to CME futures being closed. That is something that, we need to obviously consider. But, if you're looking at XRP's price right now, $2.38, a little bit of a minor pullback in both Bitcoin and USD. Comparative valuation just below 140 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 2.3 billion dollars. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, CryptoQuant CEO T. Young states that Bitcoin apparent demand seems to have stalled. Though he is cautious, it's too early to call it a bear market. I really want to take you guys down memory lane. If you've been in this space for a few years, especially if you're in the market over the last, cycle, bull cycle especially, you know that we saw the top for BTC quarter one or quarter two around there of 2021, and then quarter four is where altcoins exploded. But quarter two, I think quarter two you did see the market tumbling towards the downside. Even summer was quite sideways for crypto markets, but quarter four of 2021 was insane for altcoins, which kind of topped out around 2022 for certain coins. So again, so far history has been repeating itself. If you even look at the 2016 and 17 bull market, which topped out in 2018, of course, the one in 2020, 2021, 2022, with 2022 was a top for some altcoins, and of course right now we are seeing the market pretty much going based off of the historic price pattern. So so far the history is repeating itself in my opinion. Of course, this time around the demand factor is much more, the institutional factor is much more. Obviously regulatory clarity is coming towards crypto industry for the first time that we have not seen in the history of crypto. These are things that we need to consider. But as far as the price pattern is concerned, I really do believe that history is repeating itself. But of course, this is my own personal opinion. Only time is going to tell. But look what Cobb says. I don't mean to offend anyone, but this bull run is exclusively for XRP. Maybe this side of the bull market, it's XRP to really take over. But overall, pretty much since the bear market and of course going into this bull market, I think the coin that comes to the top in terms of bull market, in terms of every single thing, it's Solana. But maybe XRP is about to take that spot based off of of course ETF filings happening like at a crazy rate. XRPL ledger, obviously getting people's eyes, and of course on top of that self custody, of course for crypto assets. And as banks and other institutional investment companies are getting that green light, and that are paying attention to the crypto markets and are going into the digital asset market, they are obviously wanting to have self custody. And this is where Ripple steps in. And of course stable coins, as we know, stable coin regulation coming, stable coins being discussed quite a bit, and of course that is going to grow the demand from institutional and even retail. And that's where all the boxes are starting to check. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your personal thoughts down below. And look at this: Senator Tim Scott says cryptocurrency is here to stay. We want to innovate in America. Stablecoins give people more access to resources and reduce the cost of doing business. A leap in the right direction. We will lead crypto for generations to come. Senator Tim Scott knows what he is saying, and this really should give you once again another perfect idea in which direction things are really heading in. RLUSD, of course, that's what all the people are going to think about. So RLUSD, is it really going to have a major partnerships where big entities are going to start using it? Of course, one plus point is that it has that regulatory approval side of things. Of course, when it comes to stable coins, if you've been in the space for such a long time, of course, the question always came up whether or not these reserves really exist for so many coins in circulation. So with RLUSD, these entities, organizations have that peace of mind when they are obviously transacting with this specific stablecoin, because they know that there is actual reserve. So again, very, very interesting thing. But moving forward, look at this. Willy Woo has said this. So the Bitcoin chart that matters the most right now looks pretty good. So he's pretty much kind of basing it off of the RSI and looking at the futures market, and you can pretty much see the correlation between and I wouldn't really say the correlation. You kind of can see the trend line is in the downward slope for the RSI, but this upwards trend for BTC, you can see we touched this neckline of this key support line as of now. So are we about to see the market bouncing and towards the upside? Obviously basing it off of the RSI as well. Of course, I think he's kind of basing it off of the correlation. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is a negative correlation, because of course you guys can see this for yourself. This is a downward slope for the RSI, but the trend line for the BTC is in this upward trajectory. So again, Willy Woo is someone that's quite respected. When it comes to technical analysis, he is quite good with when it comes to economics. And I respect Willy Woo quite a bit. I've been following him for years and years. So if Willy Woo is saying this, is this really a time to be paying attention to it? Again, obviously, time at the end of the day is the most important thing to be looking out for. But we do need to understand that CME gap has been filled. And there's a lot of other factors, that could be potentially, happening this week. There's rumors flying around that, maybe tariffs might get paused, which again, I think could potentially have a positive impact. But we'll really see how this week goes as far as, announcement are concerned. And of course, all that good stuff. But let me know down below what you guys think about Willy Woo's post. And moving forward, look at this, first real estate RWA pool repayment complete on XRP Ledger. This marks a significant step towards, in the demonstrating the potential of real estate-backed asset within the XRP Ledger ecosystem. Thank you for your participation. This is from Alicia HQ. I can't talk right now, guys. When I talk too fast, I tend to, go a little too excited. So but you can really get the idea, real world assets. We've been talking about this, of course, people are going to come out and say, it's not happening at the scale where you really want it to happen, but one step at a time, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but, puzzle pieces are starting, and, these blocks are starting to, stack up. But moving forward, let's take a look at what's happening with the price as far as the dominance is concerned. 61.69%. Obviously lower than where we were just 2 days back, so that is obviously a good sign for altcoins specifically, while Bitcoin is still holding on to this momentum. And what I mean by that is, and again, I mentioned this in my other updates as well, you are seeing Bitcoin kind of ranging over the last few days. So, the volatility has kind of decreased over the last few days, which again is quite interesting. But of course, the weekend is something that we need to consider. CME futures are close, but as of now, kind of ranging. And I said this in my HBAR update as well. If you did end up watching it, Bitcoin has not really made up its mind. It could literally go either way, believe it or not. That's how important it is where Bitcoin's currently sitting. So we're going to see what happens to Bitcoin. Of course, if Bitcoin does break out, go back above 85K, this could be a clear indication that maybe we do start heading towards the upside. If not, the chances of us still wicking down to 80K is still on the table. So of course, we'll see what happens as we do go further into Sunday morning, specifically Monday. Of course, your crypto market is never closed, but CME futures closed does tend to cause a little bit of more manipulation than usual. But moving forward, if you're looking at XRP's price holding really nicely, yes, we have seen a little bit of a minor pullback, which of course a lot of people will point out, the price has gone down. It's not sitting at $2.50. But nonetheless, we are holding really good after this major retracement down to $1.91. Cannot forget that we're still up 24% for the fourth largest asset in the crypto space. Obviously, we do have significant amount of resistance. Obviously, people want the price to get back into 23.6. I want the price to get back into 23.6. Very, very important zone. But so far, so good. Really nice consolidation, and still one of the very few projects that still has not retested the February 3rd wick towards the downside, which again itself is really, really bullish signal that I see a lot of people are ignoring, but on this channel you don't want to be ignoring. So a little bit of a retracement, of course, due to Bitcoin also seeing a little bit of a retracement. Dominance really has been picking up over the last few hours. Could be obviously that main reason why we're seeing a little bit of a lag for altcoins, because dominance is sitting at about 61.47%, so it has seen a little bit of an uptick, but overall in the grand scheme of things are looking quite bullish. Let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later in crypto ZX, and peace out.